German Ela. Huh? She's where? Oh, she's in the villa.
I'm online, Swamini ji.
Ah, okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jnani Lakshana. What are the characteristics of the Jnani according to this particular verse? Very beautiful. So, first characteristics that is alluded to is Nashtamanasaha, for whom the mind is as good as destroyed. It's not that we are talking of the annihilation of thoughts, but we are talking of an inwardness of the mind in the sense of understanding that the thoughts, like the snake rope, are mithya. Thoughts are mithya. This is a very important link. Thoughts also are equally mithya. So, that is something we have to understand. How to understand that the thoughts are mithya? We have to analyze. The particular analysis will be given in the next verse. We'll go into that in detail. But basically, whenever a thought comes, the general tendency is to put it on the throne, crown it as the be-all and end-all of life, and say, I'm going to follow you because you appear to be real. Thought is not real. Why is the thought not real? Because it comes and goes. It comes and goes on the screen of awareness, consciousness, which is I, without leaving any mark on that screen. Just like when you go to see a movie, what happens in the movie? There is a fire in the movie, huge fire. Then what happens? Movie ends. Alas, the screen also got burnt. Huh? What burnt? No. If you go like this, all the hands become black suit. No. The canvas on which the movie is projected is not burnt. Similarly, if it rains on the movie, will the screen get wet? No. Screen is simply the canvas on which this movie is played. Thoughts are the movie, screen is the awareness. So the movie thoughts play on the screen of the asanga awareness. Asanga means uninvolved. Uninvolved in the movie the screen is. Thank God, the screen is stationary. If the villain in the movie snatches the lady's handbag, let us say, in a Bollywood movie, and starts running, the hero also runs because he wants to rescue the handbag and help out the damsel in distress, so to speak. And the screen also said, oh, poor thing, that lady has lost the handbag, I'll also run. What will happen? There will be no more movie. Screen's job is to stay stationary, still, unafflicted, unaffected and unmoving. That is the job of the screen. The movie in the form of the thoughts laughs, cries, panics, fears, tears, so many things will happen. But we have to have access not only to the screen, not only do we need to have access to the screen, that awareness, we have to keep on falling back into that awareness. Fall back, fall back, fall back. So dethroning the mind will be taken up a little in the very next verse. But for this verse, what we see is that the Jnani has learned to associate herself or himself, identify himself or herself with what? Awareness. Not with that anything that is moving and changing. How do I know everything is changing? Because I am stationary. It takes stillness to be able to objectify change. We went on the boat the other day, and if the boat next to me was moving, I will think I am also moving, correct? Yeah. But if I am moving and the boat next to me is also moving, I cannot see the motion. But if I am still and something next to me is moving, I can say, oh, the water next to the boat is moving. The boat next to me is moving. But if I am also moving, I cannot sense motion. If I can sense the motion of thoughts, that means that I am not the sum total of the thoughts. So, for example, chair perception is. You know what a chair is? 4 legs, 1 back. Yes, chair perception is. So, how is this chair perception brought about? The eyes see something called a chair. All this is dependent upon my vak, speech. The whole world is speech dependent. So I see something, it is called chair. Chair is there. And what is chair we know now? Astibhati Priyam plus Namarupa. So the name and form of the chair plus, let's call Astibhati Priyam as awareness, because that's the content of the awareness. So Astibhati Priyam plus awareness is what the chair is. And then let me remove the chair. What is? What's left? Astibhati Priyam. Don't say Namarupa. I have removed Namarupa. I have taken away the chair. Isness is still there or not? Yes. And that isness is a sentient isness. It is Chit. Isness is Sat. It is Chit, and then that Sat Chit is forever. It is what? Anandaha. Anantaha. So chair is as good as saying chair awareness is. Chair awareness is. Chair awareness is. Table awareness is. Supposing table is not. You're not here? But listen, keep listening. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get it. I'll make sure you get it. Yeah, it's my job. So I'll make sure you get it. Table is as good as saying, when I say this is a table, what am I saying? I am aware that this is a table. You understood that much? Yeah. So table is equal to saying table awareness is. That's all. I am aware of this table. And so this awareness, my awareness of the table, has bridged the gap between myself, the subject, and the object. Why? Both are rising in that awareness. Awareness, table also is awareness. Table awareness is means what? Awareness is already come. Suppose I take away the table. What happened? What is? Awareness is. Okay? Got it? Say yes even if you want to say no. The whole point is this. Table is equal to table awareness is. Table gone, what is? Awareness. Table gone means Namarupa gone. Awareness has not gone. Awareness is like the screen upon which the table was briefly projected and then withdrawn. Yeah? So, table awareness, chair awareness, and then we have to get very, very subtle about this. Thought awareness is. Thought gone, what is? Awareness is. Awareness is, then we have to say awareness is I. Because that is the definition of I. The definition of I is awareness. We first call it awareness and then we graduate to calling it consciousness. Awareness to consciousness. Same thing. We don't have to get befuddled. No befuddlement here. I am conscious of the table. Table consciousness is. Room consciousness is. Chair consciousness is. Heat consciousness outside definitely is. Right? Comfort consciousness in this room is. Nice. Glad we are inside rather than outside. Comfort consciousness is. Let's say room goes away, table goes away, chair goes away, everything goes away. What is? Consciousness is. And then the S is silent. Consciousness I. No more is. Consciousness am. Consciousness is I. This is how we understand it. And so what happens for the jnani? First let's see what happens for the ajnani, because that's very easy. And then because everybody has experience of it. What happens for the ajnani is table is, and then table awareness of the table, that I am aware of the table is hidden. Because I am not identifying as a sakshi. I am identifying with the table. Why? It's an ancestral table. It came from my dada's dada. 6th generation. Okay? So it's the great grandparents' table. And so this table is very much there. I don't allow anybody to touch it. Why? Dada's 6 times table. And then professionally I get it cleaned and what is it called? Varnished once a year and everything. Look at it from far and then pay respects to dada and say, oh, this is very nice. But the table has no use. The table is tabled basically because it cannot be used, it's just an ornament. So it's a conversation piece, literally. Somebody comes home, even if they are not looking at the table, I make them look at the table and say, this is my great grandparents' table. Please look at it because I am spending every year, I am polishing it and keeping it and what. All it needs is a child to visit, correct? And then what does it do? Bouncing, fat little cute child, toddler, bouncing, full of energy. And I tell the child, this is dada table. And it says, okay. Next time it's chasing a toy, crashes into the table, and a huge crash is heard. And what will the ajnani say? If this is an ajnani's table, ajnani will say, OMG. The table has not crashed, I have crashed. I crashed. The table crashed, the poor child got thrashed, and then what else? I just cannot handle it. Such a long time I had taken care of it. So much sentimental value. And now it is all gone. So saying, the Ajnani will cry, will be inconsolable, will be upset at the demise of the table. What will be the Jnani's response? Jnani's response will be, oh yes, it was a nice table. Yes, I had taken care of it. Yes, now it is not there in that form. No problem, it's okay. Why? Table gone, consciousness still is. And if my identity is with the consciousness, then the table, from the standpoint of the consciousness, table has not gone anywhere. Where is the table? In the form of wood. It has, you can say it has gone, if it has at all gone, where has it gone? Back to wood. Back to its source. When the table was it separate from wood? No. So then what is there to lament? Tatra ka paridevana. What is there to lament? Before what was it? Wood. Now what is this table? Wood. After it crashes, what will it be? Wood. What transformation? What change? What demise? This is how the Jnani sees. The Jnani knows everything other than me is what? Impermanent. And knowing that everything is impermanent, if I still continue to cry, then something is wrong with me. That's what the Jnani thinks. Everything is impermanent. And if I know that, then it is sad only when I don't have anything permanent in my life. That's why I get sad, because I think I don't have anything at all that is permanent in my life. This is the cause of the sorrow. But when I know that the only thing that is there is me and I am that permanence, then what is the cause of sorrow? Where is the sorrow? Nowhere. It's all gone. This is how the Jnani lives. This is how the Jnani enjoys the world. A little earlier, we had a satsang for Swamini Karunanandaji's students, and one of the question is, if I know, one of the questions asked by one of her students was, what was that question? If I know everything is impermanent, can I still appreciate it? Or should I protect myself from the sorrow and say everything is impermanent, therefore I am not going to enjoy anything? Look, the sunrise is wonderful. Okay. Look, some wonderful exotic bird is flying just past you. You've never seen a bird like this. So what? Look at the ocean, so many colors. That's just an ocean. Should I be like that? That was the question. What do you think? No. Why? Because we talked about this at length. It's not, what is impermanent is name and form. What is permanent is Satchidananda Ishvara. I worship the universe and I delight in the universe as an expression of Bhagavan. Then it becomes very enjoyable. Because what am I doing? I am connected with Astibhati Priyam and I can enjoy the Nama Rupa. Mithya can be enjoyed when you know Satyam. When you don't know Satyam, then what? Mithya becomes Satyam. Every thought is like a thorn on the side. This is how the Jnani lives. Let us see further. Next verse. Okay. Next verse. Oh no, this verse only. Chittva Darshanam. This is what is Chittva Darshanam. The association with, the identification with the awareness is Darshanam here. Chittva is awareness. Is equal to Tattva Darshanam. Is equal to the knowledge of the reality. He has a little pun on Chittva and Tattva. Very sweet. Which verse was that? 15? 16. Okay. 15, no? No, 16, 16. Yeah, 16 we finished. Okay, now 17. Yes?
I like very much your last expression about how you enjoy
The Jagat. Yes.
your neighborhood.
Yes.
Can you please say that again?
Repeat that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. No problem. Chittva Darshanam is Tattva Darshanam. When we say, we understand that everything in the world is impermanent, but the impermanence of the Jagat need not be cause for sorrow simply because we know that it is impermanent. Number one. Number two, how should my relationship with everything impermanent be? Should I say, no, I'm not going to love you because you are impermanent. I'm going to stop loving you. Up till now I thought you were permanent. I attended a retreat in Mauritius and then I was told everything is what? Impermanent, and then now I can't love you anymore. Out, get out. I'm not going to love you anymore. Why? You are impermanent. And then same thing with everything that we see, everything that we hear, everything that's the object of sight, sounds, all these things. Impermanent. So therefore, I have to shield myself from heartache, because if I love it, then that means it will go away and then I will be sad. This is the regular, what should I say, reaction to the Jagat. But we know better. What do we know? That out of Asti Bhati Priyam and Nama Rupa, one tends to fall in love with the Nama Rupa and forget all about Asti Bhati Priyam. Asti Bhati Priyam is completely forgotten, and the Nama Rupa is deified to be the only existent thing, and then that becomes the cause for sorrow because the Nama Rupa deteriorates. Anything that comes together falls apart. So therefore, the Jnani's Chakshu, the vision of the Jnani is a vision of no division. Instead of seeing Nama Rupa, first the Jnani, first and always, the Jnani's sights are on Asti Bhati Priyam. This is called Chittva Darshanam. I am what? Asti Bhati Priyam. Table is what? Asti Bhati Priyam. A beautiful flower is what? Asti Bhati Priyam. Plus Nama Rupa. The Nama Rupa is an added plus. Just like saying infinity is plus 5. Infinity plus 2. Nama Rupa. So that makes no difference to the Asti Bhati Priyam. And the more I identify with the Asti Bhati Priyam, what happens? The more I am able to enjoy the Nama Rupa without any agenda for the Nama Rupa. Otherwise, I keep wanting to make the finite into infinite. This is the problem. Everything that is finite, I want to make the infinite. Make it into infinite. For a little while, I had a mortician. Mortician means a person who works in a funeral home come to the classes. So naturally I was curious. I said, what do you do? He said, my job is terrible. I have a terrible, terrible job. I said, why? It's because you have to deal with the dead bodies. He said, the dead bodies are very peaceful, non-demanding. They don't ask for anything. It's the living people I'm sick of. I said, why are you sick of the relatives, the living people? He said, let me give you an example of what happened today. I said, what happened today? He said, he had to prepare the body of a woman who was 98, had a full life, and then had been bedridden for 3-4 years, and then passed away. Natural death, no problem. And then the relatives, the sons-in-law, daughters-in-law, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whoever was there, they were putting pressure on him, make mom look alive. Arey, she's dead. Make her look alive. So he said, while she was alive, she looked dead. Now that she's dead, I have to make her look alive. You see, mine is the hardest job. Do you have any appreciation for it now? I said, yes. I said, look for another job. I said, don't deal with this. So, this is what it is. We are all upside down. Crazy we are. Totally bonkers. Mad we are. Totally insane. What is finite is finite. What is infinite is infinite. They will never meet. The finite can never become infinite, because whatever becomes is not infinite. There is no becoming about it. There is no two ways about it. But yet, it does not stop me from trying. This is the problem. So, for a jnani, the finite is enjoyable, the infinite is I. The finite is greatly enjoyable, but the infinite is what? I. The infinite is always I. Very beautiful. That is what we have to keep track of. When the finite is understood as finite, it is enjoyable. When the finite is mistaken for the infinite, there is no greater misery than that. Manasam tu kim margane krite Naiva manasam marga arjavat Manasam tu kim means what is this thing called the mind? What is this thing which we term as the mind? Especially after marganam has been kritam. Margane krite. Margane krite means this absolute locative construction. When the what is that called? Marganam means analysis, enquiry. When the enquiry is done, margane krite manasam tu kim? What mind? Where is it? After analysis, what is so once I find out what is the mind through analysis, vichara. What kind of vichara? Atma vichara. Atma vicharena saha. Because of due to Atma vichara, what do I find? What is this mind? Where is this mind? I inquire into the mind. And when I inquire into the mind, what happens? I start seeing the mithyatvam of the mind. All hardened ideas, notions, ideologies, beliefs start to tumble and crumble. There's nothing there except the I. Okay? Yeah. So, manasam tu kim? Margane krite. Margane krite, once the marganam, the search has been done from mrig to search. Mrigayati, I think 10th conjugation, to search. So, margane krite, once the search has been done, na eva manasam, bye bye mind. No mind. No mind means not that I stop thinking, but the mind is not I. Mind is not I. I am not the mind. Mind is Brahman, everything is Brahman, but I is separate from the mind. Brahman is not the mind. What do you mean mind is Brahman, but Brahman is not the mind? Everything is Brahman, therefore what? Mind is also has to be Brahman only, it can't be outside of Brahman. Then, mind is Brahman, but Brahman being everything cannot have a form only of the mind. So, therefore we say, Brahman is not the mind, not the senses, not the body, but it lends its Asti Bhati Priyam, ABP, to all of them. That is the idea. So, Margane Krite, once you have done this, a kind of a very deep analysis, and how to do, we will see in this verse, Margane Krite, Naiva Manasam, Na Eva Manasam, there is no manas here. It's like looking for UFOs. The government, everybody feels is hiding. Area 51, there is some area in America. So then they feel like all the information of UFOs are being hidden. Nobody is telling. They have already made contact with other, what is that called? Alien. Extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials contact has been made. Nobody is giving us information. People are very upset, very confused, very upset. But then suddenly they released a few troves of some of the reports. And even the journalists could not go through the reports. It was so boring. There was nothing there. Same thing it is with the mind. Same thing it is with the mind. Nothing there. All it takes is, in terms of like public opinion, all it takes is one rumor. There are some drones flying around New Jersey, I believe. And then everybody, UFOs, government is not telling everything. Everybody is taking photos of what? Landing planes. And they are thinking they are UFOs. So like this, it turned out to be nothing. Similarly, the mind that is seen as the cause of sorrow, the mind that is seen as the cause of consternation, the mind that is seen as the cause of samsara is what? Non-existent ultimately. Mithya, dependent reality. I give the mind too much, I elevate it to a bigger state, and so this is what is the problem. The problem is that mind is elevated to something that it is not. So therefore, in the enquiry, when an enquiry is taken into the nature of the manaha, we find that there is indeed no mind, because arjavat. Arjavat means because the enquiry is very, very, very direct. This is the most direct way. This verse tells us how does one become a jnani. You can do tapas, you can stand on one leg, you can learn to meditate, all this is well and good. But the quickest way to become a jnani is through Atma Vichara. Atma Vichara means through the understanding of the I, through the analysis of the I. Of course, a lot of it happens in the class. A lot of the Vichara happens in the class, but at the same time, I can help myself through Yukti, Shruti, Anukula Yukti. I can logically help myself. Logic is not the means for Atma Jnanam, never has been, never will be. What is the means for Atma Jnanam? Shravanam of the Shruti. But the logic helps because I can use the logic also used by the Shruti. Shruti also uses logic, and so Shruti Anukula Yukti means a logic that is compatible with the Shruti I can use. So I can help myself with my own little analysis. What is that? Margane Krite. So this kind of an analysis I can do. What is the analysis? How do I know something? Let us look at that. So, how do I know something? How do I know, for example, here we go, one more. Yeah. How do I know tiny flower is? How do I know? Huh? I am aware of it, yeah. First I am aware of it, and then I was also aware of it. It was right here. Yeah. Tiny flower is. How was I made aware of the tiny flower? Because it was in a tiny shell. Tiny shell is, tiny flower is. And then so this flower is, so when I say flower is, then that means I am saying what? We have gone through this before. This is just a revision. I am aware of the flower. So what is the distance between the flower, which is the object, and awareness? Yeah. If I hold the flower here, will it be further away from awareness? No. If I hold the flower here, will it be closer to awareness? Why? Awareness is all pervasive. The same awareness that's in my head is also in your head. The same awareness pervades this body-mind-sense complex, pervades the other body-mind-sense complex also. So between the awareness and the awareful one, which is me, who is aware of the flower, what is the distance between the subject I and the object flower? What's the distance? No distance. No distance at all. Zero distance. This is very interesting. That's why it says Tadejati tannejati taddure tadvantike Ishavasya. It moves. About the mind is said. It doesn't move. Yeah. Sitting here, you can go back to India right now. All you have to do is have a glazed look. Don't do it in class, do it after class, okay? Yeah. Sitting right here in any place, you can go back. Or you can go back to the United States. Or you can go back anywhere. Or you can wonder what the next island is like, the one that I didn't see but I read about it. I wonder what kind of water sports they have there. You're already there. The mind has gone. Tat ejati. It moves. Ejr kampane. It moves. Tat na ejati. It is very still. Now I gave up the desire to go to the island. Now I want to sit and do dhyanam. The mind is with me. Sometimes it looks very far. That's why there is a lot of, what is that expression? I am spaced out. Yeah, because I am not able to access myself. I am very far. Spaced out. Tad dure. Tad vantike means it's close, it's far, it's just all an appearance. It's all an appearance on that awareness which is free of all apparitions and appearances. So the mind also has to be seen as occurring in awareness. You see, we have become very experts in seeing that the flower is in awareness. Can you see that? Flower exists where? In awareness. This body exists where? In awareness. But we also have to see that mind is in where? Awareness. Mind is also in awareness. Emotions are where? In awareness. Emotions non-separate from awareness. Subject non-separate from awareness. Object non-separate from awareness. So let us say this is object and I am objectifying this is tiny flower, right? I am objectifying the flower. What am I using to objectify the flower? Eyes. The eyes are also what? In awareness. That same awareness, without undergoing any change, morphs into the seer, drashta, morphs as though. We have to say as though everywhere, okay? I will not have it any other way. You have to be if you start talking Vedanta, you have to say as though after every sentence. Then you are a true Vedantin. Otherwise, what are you? Vedanta out. Okay? So, This is what it is. Flower is in awareness. This body is in awareness. The eyes are in awareness. So now when I am the flower, when I am the flower, I'm going too far. So that's later. We have to go one more step before that. So when I watch the flower, when I'm seeing the flower, that same awareness as though morphs into seer. And the same awareness without any time lapse. There is no time. It's all spontaneously, simultaneously happening. Because time and space are also where? In awareness. Wow. This is the thing. This is real Vedanta. Can't hear?
No.
Want me to repeat?
One question.
Wow.
Do you use between me and the flower the space awareness?
That space awareness, space is yet to come. Really. Space, we demonstrated space because we take that for granted, because really speaking, we are talking of a reality where space and time have no meaning, have no purpose. They are a construct. Just like the awarer is a construct, the awared one, that which is the object of awareness is a construct. That object of awareness is away from the one who is aware of it, is immaterial, because that also is in the space, also is in the same awareness and is equally mithya. Equally mithya. That's why I was saying, is it close to awareness, is it far away from awareness, to show the mithyatvam of space. And when we said that, the mind is moving, not moving, far away here, if the mind is in the past, past awareness is now. Awareness always is in present time. There is no past for the awareness. No, yesterday I was very sad because I was thinking of the past. When are you thinking of the past? Huh? No. I'm very anxious about the future. When are you anxious? No. Same thing with space. It's all a construct. The relativity of space and time compared to the absoluteness of awareness, it should be very, very clear. The mithyatvam of space and time compared to the what? The absoluteness of here and now. All that is here is awareness. So let's go back to what I was saying. I am subject. Where, what? In relation to this flower. What is flower? Object. Subject awareness is. Object awareness is. And that which connects the subject and the object, what is that? In this the flower example, sight. Sight awareness is. Awareness is. Awareness simply is. This same awareness morphs as it were into seer, morphs into the object as it were, morphs into the sight which connects the subject and object in the case of this flower, without being any one of them. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes.
Later, we'll have full satsang because it will interrupt the flow of what is there. Yeah, you can ask. You please write down the question and then ask me in the satsang. So, we have here awareness which is free of what? Space, time, everything. That awareness is like an ocean. This oceanic awareness, limitless awareness, consciousness is all that there is. It is free of time, it is forever, therefore it is free of sorrow, because that which is forever has to be free of sorrow, and it is the only source of existence, and it is all knowledge. So therefore it is totally itself self-standing awareness. Now there is no subject-object division right now. Let us imagine. It is simply awareness resting with itself. Then suddenly I see something. I see the flower and flower awareness is. I see the flower, and then what do I become in relation to the flower? Seer, drashta, drig, in other words, drik or drashta. And then drashtru I can say, or drik I can say. I become drik, seer. And what is the flower? Drishya, seeing. Drishya and drik. And then the jnanam that takes place is because the eyes are being used to say this flower is an object of my awareness. The flower is non-separate from awareness, eyes are non-separate from awareness, and the person who is the seer, is the status of the seer is what? Non-separate from awareness. What is awareness? None of the three. Neither seer nor seen, nor the one that connects the seer and the seen in the form of eyes. When we talk of something to see, same thing we can say. Neither hearer nor the object of hearing, nor that which the pair of ears which connects the hearer and the heard. This threefold difference is basically samsara. The threefold difference, if I don't understand that everything is one falls into samsara. Why? Because I see that the object, when I see the object, I see it as different from awareness. I only see the nama rupa. When I only see the nama rupa, what happens? Disappointment takes place. Why? That nama rupa belongs to somebody else. That's why disappointment takes place. It can't be mine, at least by ethical means. I cannot have it. I can't have this. Why? It already belongs. It is a BMW that belongs to somebody else. So what to do? Sorrow ensues, jealousy ensues, anger ensues. Why can't I have nice things? This is the feeling. Sorrow, anger, jealousy, in other words, samsara. All the 6 emotions we can take. What are they? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Kama, desire, anger, because when you don't get something you desire, what happens? Yeah, volcano erupts, anger comes. And then lobha, greed, avarice, moha, delusion, ajnanam, mada, pride, arrogance, matsarya, jealousy. All these things ensue if I don't know that the flower is, or whatever I see, the object of sight is non-separate from awareness. When I don't know this, this is jnanam. This is how one becomes a jnani. So then, what about the seer? Seer also non-separate from awareness. Seen also non-separate from awareness. And that which bridges the seer and seen as though also non-separate from awareness, without undergoing any change, the awareness appears as the seer, appears as the seen, appears as the act of seeing, without undergoing any transformation whatsoever. This is just so fascinating. This is the heart of the teaching. Very, very, very beautiful. It's like if we can illustrate this, we can look at the ocean and the waves. Let's say there are 3 waves at the same time in the ocean. What is wave number 1? Water. What is wave number 2? Water. What is wave number 3? Water. But I see it as what? Big wave, small wave, medium-sized wave, but all of them are non-separate from water. So awareness is water, and the status of seer is wave number 1, status of seer is seen, the object of sight is wave number 2, and the seeing itself is wave number 3. Jnata, jnanam, jneyam, pramata, prameya, and then pramana. Anyhow you can say. Drig, drishya, darshanam. All this is mithya. superimposed upon that awareness which is free of being drik, which is free of being drishya, which is free of being the seeing eyes. All of them resolve into awareness as though, and arise out of awareness as though, and are sustained by awareness as though. Clear? Yes. Well, we can, have questions about this because it's a little bit much, I can see. So then, one more thing we can see, Marganam, let me look at the verse. Which verse was it? Okay. Naiva Manasam. Yeah. So one more place we can go to, and what can we do? We can see that we can prove that awareness has not undergone any change. How can we prove that awareness has not undergone any change? How can we prove? It's fine for me to sit here and say awareness has not undergone any change when I saw the pot. So when I saw the pot or when I saw the flower, awareness did not undergo any change. What's the proof? This is a logical question, not a Vedanta question. Very good, fantastic. So when I see this flower, okay, and then I see that it is in awareness, seer is non-separate from awareness and seen is non-separate from awareness, and when I see the flower, the awareness is not affected by this, either the flower or the flower thought or the subject or object or the seeing. How do I know? Because then when I see the glasses, same awareness morphs into seer sight seen without undergoing any change. There is no, like the screen in the movie we talked about earlier. Without undergoing any change, it is, everything is awareness plus name and form. Awareness plus name and form. Take out the name and form, what remains? Awareness, consciousness. You bring back the name and form, what remains? Awareness. Still that. No change it has undergone. And then but one thing we need to know is that the awareness does not have a reporting capacity. That's why we need the mind. Awareness simply shines the light on something. Awareness does not say this is flower. Why? Awareness is flower. Yeah, flower is awareness. Flower is non-separate from awareness. So how can awareness say this is flower? Awareness does not say it is flower. Awareness presents itself and is known as a flower in the form of a vritti, a thought. What kind of a thought? Flower thought, part thought, hat thought, mat thought, cat thought, rat thought. It's in the form of thought. And that thought rises in the mind in the form of a modification, sustains, and then dies away. Another thought comes, again in awareness, non-separate from awareness. So the thoughts basically the thoughts are illumined by awareness to be in turn having the power to illumine the object. Do you want me to repeat that? Thoughts are illumined by awareness because awareness is all illumining, it's all light, it's all knowledge. Thoughts vrittis are illumined by awareness, consciousness, Brahman, and they in turn become active and activated rather and have the power, they have borrowed the power to illumine objects. Like the sun illumines the moon and the moon illumines objects at night. In the same way, the vrittis illumine, and then the vrittis have illumined, are illumined by awareness, and the lighted up vrittis in turn light up the objects. This is all Upadesha-Sahasri. All this maddeningly, parsed and very precise knowledge is given about all this in the Upadesha-Sahasri, the magnum opus of Adi Shankaracharya. So then we have to understand one more thing. What number verse it is again? 16, 17, yeah. One more thing we have to understand. What is flower thought? Is it a subject or is it an object?
An object.
Flower is an object. What is flower thought? As I now have brought a new entity. Okay, we have quoted Dvayam. This half of the room says object, this half of the room says subject. That's because it's neither subject nor object. Yeah, that's why. It's neither subject nor object. Flower thought is neither subject nor object. What is it? Awareness. Yes. The thought illumined by awareness is neither subject nor object. When it illumines the object, it is what? Object thought. When it illumines the subject, it is subject thought. It is neither. Intrinsically, it is free of being subject and object. See, from awareness we went to an intermediary called thought, vritti. Because now from this we will go to the mind. That marganam has come. That marganam is there. So we have to go to the mind from here. How to manage the mind? Age-old problem, universal problem, how to manage the mind. How to discipline the mind. How to be thinking like the jnani thinks. What to do? How to understand this? So, there are two ways. Either you inquire into what is the mind. When I inquire into what is the mind, what is there? It's nothing. Mithya. It's a dependent reality. It goes away. Or another way to falsify the mind is to say that what is the mind, an object or a subject? Immediately we say the mind is what? Object. Why? Because I can observe it. And then the third thing to do, the third upaya is to see what is it that is so stubborn about the mind. It is a place where the I seems to reside. What is this I? Ahankara. Ahankara. I notion resides there. The I notion has a problem. What is the problem? All this is mine, not yours, mine. What is yours? I am chittam, I am emotions, I am buddhi, and then I am that which is the indecisive faculty. And then this is what the ahankara says, all these three are me. Body is also mine. Body mind means the next step is body is equal to me. Body mine. Mind, mine, senses mine, mind. Everything is mine. I wish the ahankara would say everything is mine. Everything that I think is mine is mine. The ahankara is stuck there. The ahankara is called avichara sundaraha, which as long as you don't do inquiry, it looks beautiful. Like one of these models on the runway. The model on the runway, flawless skin, perfect height, perfect figure, perfect hair. You shouldn't go close and do inquiry. If you go close, you see that why is there perfect skin? Because there's layers and layers and layers of what is that called? Makeup, foundation, yeah, that's right. All kinds of things. All kinds of creams. There is a lotion and a potion for every notion about the face. Okay, so everything is sculpted look without being original. Eyebrows are not original. Somebody told me the latest fashion is to shave them off. I said, oh, that sounds terrible. And then what do you do afterwards? You pencil them in. I don't understand. If you have to pencil them in, why shave them off? Om Namah Shivaya. Anyway, so that's what. Eyebrows without eyebrows, eyelashes without eyelashes, flawless skin without flawless skin, teeth without teeth, high cheekbones without high cheekbones, with Botox, You know what is important about Botox? The last 3 letters, tox. It's a poison. Yes, it's a poison. Anyhow, come back here, okay? Botox without, frowns, with no frowns, with Botox, and all these things. And so if you start inquiring into the celebrity, all the body parts are coming out, literally. And then I swear, you will never recognize them. Without all the makeup and without all the hairdo, hair don't, all these things. With the hairdo, you recognize them. With the hair don't, you don't recognize them. Similarly, the ahankara is made up even more than a celebrity. Even more. It has airs, it has flares, it just is a masquerader, it's very tip-top. It just says, this is who I am. Yes, very well put together. This is what I do. Even coming into the Vedanta, ahankara does not go anywhere. Ahankara has its own way of going about the spiritual path also. I have been studying Vedanta for the past 35 years. I am an old student of Pujya Swamiji. This is what it is, all ahankara. Nothing wrong, but we have to identify it as ahankara. I have done 108 retreats in my life. Even in the spiritual realm, it is, the holier, what is it called? Holier than thou attitude doesn't go. The ahankara is the most holier than thou. But it just takes a little thing that the fellow is so sensitive. All that someone has to say is, you're an idiot. Somebody called me an idiot. Nobody loves me. It just melts into a puddle and people have to carry you out in buckets. Okay? This is what happens. It cannot handle inquiry. It's the most fragile thing, but then yet it masquerades as strong and built fully to withstand anything, but it's the most fragile thing. Foo, if you say, it dies. So ahankara nasha need not take place, because even to gain self-knowledge you need a sense of I. But the sense of I, the I notion, must be put in place. Again you take the ahankara from the throne and then what? Send it out the front door and tell it to come from the back door. Well, tell it to come from the back door. And then what will happen? It will sit quietly and listen. That's what happens. This mind is of no use. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kutaschaneti. So, from which Brahman, the mind and the speech came back having beaten a retreat. Not this retreat, meaning come back. Yeah. They came back without aprapya, without gaining Brahman. The mind and speech are the greatest of friends. Each one does what the other one can't. So they have mutual admiration. The mind says to speech, anytime I have an idea, you are so eloquent, you are so articulate, you are amazing, Vak. Speech, I love you so much. And the Vak says, I am just a microphone and an amplifier. It's you who is creative. You have all these ideas. They are the greatest of friends. And one day they said, we are going to catch this Brahman. Nobody has been able to catch Brahman, awareness, consciousness. We are going to catch and bring him back. And the villagers gave them a very nice send-off. Tilak, Arati, and garlands. Yes, please go. They went. A kind of bond between the mind and speech is like the lame man sitting on the shoulders of a blind man and both of them going for a walk. The blind man cannot see, correct? And then the lame man cannot walk. So the blind man is leading, walking. And the lame man says, no, you will crash us both in a tree. Are you out of your mind? Go straight. No, little left, right, straight. And then they both can enjoy the outdoors thanks to each other. Similarly, the mind and the speech are very much aligned. Ahankara thrives through speech. It asserts itself through speech. And then what? Nothing. It cannot get that which cannot be objectified, which is in essence its own truth. It cannot get a hold of that at all. So then, what happens? Nothing happens really. They came back, beaten, exhausted, because Brahman is not an object. They were looking everywhere except in the place where the Brahman was. Guha nihitam. Where is Brahman? The place where it's recognized is where Brahman is. Jagataha upalabdhisthanam, jagataha adhishthanasya upalabdhisthanam eva. The place where the Jagat is recognized is the same place where the truth of the Jagat awareness is also recognized. Same mind. That's why it has to come through the back door. So then they were afraid to go back to the village. So they came back through the back door. And then what? Some guru had come in the village who was teaching. They both sat down and listened to Vedanta, which is very nice. Speech shut up, mind also kept quiet, and they both got enlightened. This is what the idea is. So speech and mind have to be trained to be non-reactive, and then understand this, to be in the service of the knowledge rather than the author of this knowledge. As long as I think I'm an agent of this knowledge, nothing will happen. The mind is not an agent of Vedanta Shastra. The mind is a place where Vedanta Shastra is recognized as the truth of the self. So the mind is not an agent of the knowledge. What is the mind? It's a receptacle of the knowledge. It's a receptacle. Okay. Then, next one. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaha vrittayo mano vidyaham manaha. Yeah. So, vritti means thoughts. Vrittayaha, thought forms. Tu, but. Aham vritti means I thought. Ahankara. Ashritaha means dependent. Then manaha, mind, we know that. Vidhi, please know what aham and manaha, the ego and the aham. So what's the translation of this? The mind is various thought forms. The mind is in the form of various vrittis. thought forms which arise and subside, but then all these thought forms have one dada. What is that? Ahankara. I thought. I thought is the dada, is the leader of all the other thoughts. I thought is there, and then aham vritti, I thought, the I thought is there, and then so therefore what we have to see is the mind is ahankara here. So the enquiry into the mind is the same as the enquiry into ahankara. That's all this particular verse is saying. It's a thought modification. What is the mind other than that which is full of thoughts? What is I thought? I thought is also a thought. I thought is a thought. And then what is the ahankara other than awareness? Of course it is awareness. That which is free from limitation. Ahankara is the content, the truth of the ahankara is awareness. Truth of the ahankara is awareness. Correct? Yeah. If the truth of everything is awareness, truth of the I notion is also what? Awareness alone. Generally, we divide the vritti. This is Adi Shankara at his best. Adi Shankara divides the vrittis into two varieties of vrittis. First vritti is aham vritti. We just talked about it. I know, I stand, I sit, I did this, I did not do that. Aham vritti. But then what I confront in the form of the world is what? Idam vritti. Idam means what? This. So there are two, the vrittis can be classified into two. I vritti and idam vritti, this vritti. This is, he executes a discussion of this in about few pages in the introductory bhashya of the Brahma Sutra. Yushmad asmad pratyaya gocharayoho vishaya vishayinoho tamah prakashavat viruddha svabhavayoho. He describes the differences of the vrittis. The vrittis have nothing to do with one another. Idam vritti has to be illumined by what? Aham vritti. Idam vritti is tamas, it is inert. The aham vritti is blessed by consciousness. Of course, the object is also blessed by consciousness, but here we are looking at it very minutely. And they are completely opposite. Itaretara bhava. Completely opposite. They cannot be mixed up at all. This vritti will always remain separate from I. This flower, this phone, this chair, this computer, this table, this body, everything which I say about idam, separate from aham. Idam vritti is the whole jagat. Aham vritti is what? Awareness. Idam vritti is name and form. Aham vritti is awareness. Of course, the name and form is also in awareness, but we are looking at it from a slightly shifted angle. Because now we are looking into how the mind has to be purified. How the mind is not purified, falsified. No, here I thought. Yeah, aham vritti means I am, iti vritti. I exist, iti vritti. I am, I thought, this is what it is. But that I thought sometimes goes along with the ahankara. That's what it is. We'll come to that. Don't worry. Right now, just focus on this. So this aham, I thought, aham vritti, we can also in certain, anyway, I'm not going to go there now. We'll do that later. Otherwise, it will get confusing. Just step by step, let's go. So this aham vritti and idam vritti have nothing on the face of it to do with one another. One is object, is the object, the other one is what? Subject. Still the confusion and the mix-up between idam and aham takes place. Adi Shankara says, why the confusion takes place? Nobody says, if supposing this is my house, let us say. You come to my house. I will say, this is my house. Nobody says, this is me house. Right? Nobody says, this is me house. This is my house. My house is different from me house. But strangely, Adi Shankara says, the my house becomes what? Me house. Pujya Swamiji used to illustrate this with a fantastic story. A friend went abroad, somewhere to the Middle East. Friend and the family, and they had very nice family friends. And so the friends that went abroad let their house out to the friends who needed a place to stay. 3 years it went by very quickly. The friend who was staying in the house, the family enjoyed the house very much. It was near the children's schools, it was conveniently located, it was a fabulous little house, they loved it. After 3 years, one registered letter comes in the mail, and they open it, and the friend says, I have made a lot of money from Dubai or somewhere in the Middle East. Let us say the letter came, I have made a lot of money. I don't think I'm going to come back and stay in this house. Each time you write to me, you say how much you love this house. I have decided to gift you this house. And then the whole family hugged each other, they jumped for joy, they were very happy. For how long? 2 minutes. Okay? Only 2 minutes they were happy. Why? Because the husband and the wife started to go around and see, okay, now that this is our house, let us see all the things that we need to fix up. Why did he give us this? Maybe there is something wrong. Did you see this crack? Was it always there? They must have given it to us because they are hiding something. Maybe it's full of termites and what are the white ants. Maybe it's just going to just crumble down. There's some gadbad, there is some problem. Why will they give us this house? See, my house has become what? Me house. When my house, when something that belongs to me translates into me, there is sorrow. There's nothing else, only some sorrow. Some sorrow ensues. And even in happy situations, the same thing happens. I see a person taking a dog for the walk. Or rather, the dog is taking the person for the walk. Because who is in front? Dog. Not the human. Dog is in front. And then I just pass them. I say, nice dog. What happens? Person says, thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't say nice person, right? And similarly, I'll say, nice t-shirt. Somebody is wearing a nice t-shirt. I pass them on the wall. T-shirt doesn't say thank you. Who says thank you? Person says thank you. So even though the object and subject seem to have nothing to do with one another, the mix-up is real. This mix-up is the cause of Atma Ajnanam, and this mix-up, according to Adi Shankara's language, is called Adhyasaha. Adhi Asaha. Asaha means the throwing, Adhi, on top of something. Adhyasa, mistake. This is the mistake. The mistake is not with the Jagat. The mistake is here. The mistake is in the lack of recognition. The proper understanding. Mistaking the object for the subject is mad. It defies logic, but that's what is happening. And so, this is, nice, this adhyasa, this kind of a, mix-up, he says, naisargiko ayam loka, ayam loki. Naisargika means it appears to be natural. Even though one doesn't know how the I got embroiled in this, the I and this are a big mess. And the I has to be extricated from the this. And for that reason, we need to analyze the ahankara, because that I thought, that the ahankara rides on the I thought. Now this is the answer to your question. Is the I thought ahankara? No. But the ahankara uses the I thought as a personal vehicle with which it drives to places, identifying with everything all the time. Is that clear? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. Huh? The I thought is just simple. I am. Simple. I am this body. That's ahankara. I am as good as this. That is ahankara.
So I is that consciousness.
I is consciousness. I is the I thought. Consciousness appearing in the form of a thought blessed by consciousness. And the ahankara takes the I thought as its personal vehicle and then makes everything into its own. Not everything, only a few things. That's the problem. If it makes everything into its own, it's jnana. Few things belong to me and the rest are not mine, not yet mine. Yeah, mine, not yet mine. The whole world is divided into yet to be mine. This is what happens. And then we have a lot of analysis needing to be done about the ahankara, which we will do later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.